Well, it's rainy again. How unusual. It's Ohio, so our springs are usually pretty wet. And I've had my air plants out here to get a nice rain bath, because that's usually what's best for them. I have them in these little hypertufa containers. I mean, they're not planted or anything. They're just stuck in there. But that's what I keep them in. And it was high time that they got a nice drenching. But I wanted to try to do something different today. As far as an arrangement, because I've had this little tray for a long time to put the air plants in, and I want something new and different. So we're going to try that. Okay, I'm having an idea about using a shell. So out here in my rock garden, where I have all the hypertufa, along with some freakish skulls that I made with hypertufa, I'm going to try a shell and see if that works. I think that might be about the right size, so I'm going to use that. Hopefully that'll work. Are you scared? Now I've got everything cleaned off, and I stuck the seashell down in there. Had to rinse him thoroughly. He had some sand and things in him. But if I can rig up some kind of a compatible wire for, that doesn't harm an air plant, I think I might try this. It might look a little weird, but it's at least something different. I'm tired of the same old. So I'm going to work on this and see what I can come up with. I'll find some kind of thread here in my sewing box. And the type thread I had in mind, is this it? Yeah, this is the nylon thread that you use to make sure that the thread doesn't break. I don't know what the difference between that and fishing line is, but that's what I'll use. It's so light you can hardly see it, but that's what I'm going to try to use. I don't think nylon would harm an air plant. Now I've brought them in, dumped the water, and I got each of the little air plants upside down to drain out. I guess they're not looking as healthy as they could. This one has even split apart when I lifted it. So that may be a bad sign for this one. And he was my bloomer from years ago. But I guess I haven't taken really good care of him. But I'm going to let them drain a little bit, and then I'll see what kind of a string that I could put them up with. Does nylon thread hurt air plants? And it says, yes, nylon thread can potentially hurt air plants, especially if not used carefully, if it's wrapped too tight or restricts. So no, we're not going to use that. Now I'm all set up to assemble my party light stand. This is something I found at the thrift store. I think it had some kind of a party light, little goblet that goes there. I got a few of those, similar, but a little bit bigger and not quite shaped like that. And then this is my clean shell. I got him all cleaned out, and I've had him sitting in here so he's all drained out. I think he's gonna look pretty good. Not perfect, but good enough to give me something different. Okay, and then here are my air plants, all fresh from being outside in the rain. And I've kind of trimmed them a little bit. I had a few brown ends to trim off, and I just snip those off with a pair of scissors. But then I'm just going to take this and kind of stuff it in that hole of the shell. And then the other piece, I'm going to try to wedge it here in the far side. This is the other one. It's of a similar size, just has a few more roots down here. And I'm just going to try to tuck it in. Let me get a hold of it. Tuck it in on this side. If I can get it to hold on there. Now that's those two. And then the only other one I have left is the one here that's in the most pitiful shape. He doesn't look too healthy. I hope that's nothing that is contagious that would get on my other air plants. But I'm just going to, this looks like a wide enough spot, kind of wedge it down in there to hold it tightly. There. So there's my 3. It's kind of a weird, I don't know, it's giving me a Cousin It vibe. If you know, you know, Cousin It. But that's what it looks like. And I think that's different. Let me scoot it out. Can you get a good look at that? And I'll pull it back in. I think that looks pretty good. At least it's different. Now I had intended to use my nylon thread, but I got conflicting reports about the nylon thread. One little statement said that the nylon thread is not good because it doesn't have any stretch to it, and it said fishing line does. I don't know the difference, so I'm just going to stuff it in the shell instead of using the nylon thread, just to be on the safe side. I've killed enough plants without killing more air plants. So anyway, and then I can't remember if I included that in the other video, but this is my little, I don't know, I guess it's a cheese label chalkboard that I put down when I do my watering, because you should do it at least once a week, or at least try not to go too much farther. So I just put the date number on there so that I can keep track, and then I'll put that on the table next to my air plant. Let's go ahead and place it over here where it's gonna sit. This was its usual spot. Here, let me move her over here. And then we're going to put this one, let me see, what's the best side? I guess shell-wise, that's the best side. I think that looks pretty good. My little chalkboard, and I just keep the chalk lying there, right there with it. But I think that's gonna look really good. So, here we go. My new little party lights holder for an air plant. Not bad. I think it looks pretty good. Well, thanks for watching. And we'll have a later video on why I've got so many of these little yellow sticky traps in my plants. Oh, and I've got to catch you up on the progress of these. They're doing good. But I'll see you on the next video.